The Real with Realtor Nagaraj Annaya every Sunday from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. PST on Volley 92.3 FM.
Hello, welcome back to the Real Estate and Immigration Show, where we bring you expert insights on everything related to the US real estate, immigration policies, and economic trends. I'm your host, Nagraj Anaya. I'm a realtor, and today we have a special guest, renowned immigration attorney Ashima Duggal, to break down the latest developments in the US immigration system and how they impact both immigrations and the real estate investors. Hello, Ashima, welcome to the show.
Hello, Nagaraj. Great to be here.
Yeah, listeners, if you have any questions in the Bay Area real estate and if you have any questions in the immigration, you know where to call. Today is like you can go give us a call 877 Bali 92 877 Bali 92. If you're in the verge of buying a house and you're worried about all these immigration issues and your parents are moving into the US and you're worried about the immigration and you're on, or an H1B and would like to understand what are the alternatives, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92. Ashima, I think we had a discussion last week on this, all this layoffs and everything is happening. After that, we saw a lot of other companies are also laying off. What do you think about that? Like, what are the feedback on that, Ashima?
Yeah, from an immigration point of view, and layoffs in tech industry been going on for several years. And keep in mind, if you have an H-1B and O-1 and L-1, most of the time, most of your visas, even if you have F-1 OPT, you have a 60-day grace period.
Mm-hmm.
The 60-day grace period begins after your last date of employment, and in that time you can search for a new job. But Nagaraj, do you think 60 days is enough time to find a job and get H-1B sponsorship?
Yeah, I think that's what I keep telling to a lot of listeners, like, and even in the lot of in the YouTube comments, right? People think, hey, America is like you can't do anything, you're stuck on H1B. Dude, there are alternatives. I gave an example of myself when I came to the US 2014, Ashima. Do you know that? I came to 2014 and I'm
Wow.
already a citizen here.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, a lot of my clients, I talk to them when they get laid off. Some of them contact me immediately. Some of them wait until day 45, day 50 of their 60-day grace period. And there's very little time left. But if you can't find that dream job in 60 days, do you go to a consulting company, IT consulting? Do you start your own company? I mean, these are options. Or do you just apply for a visitor status so you can keep looking for another job for another 6 months? So you do have options. It's not the end of the world if you suffer from a layoff on an H-1B visa, but you do need to look at your options and make a plan, a strategy. Too many people don't have a strategy for their journey, their immigration journey, like Nagaraj, within 10, 11 years, you entered, got an H-1B and became a, green card holder, then a US citizen. I think that's amazing. That's unique.
Yeah, see, that's what I keep telling. This country is always dreaming big, including the real estate. Every time you start with it, you think that remorse or like by yourself scared of, you can't achieve anything in this country. Always you need to be brave enough and buying on a real estate or on your immigration. Look for always for the options. Look for options. What are the other options? Because Ashima, like, let me tell you my story, right? In 2014, I came in like same on H1B, came here within 6 months. You know, the consultancies they all have this strategy, right? Like nowadays, is a strategy is like you are. I think the latest trend right now is like basically top 5% underperforming, underperforming. It has become a kind of a norm in the tech world right now. Right?
Yeah, I've had clients tell me that Just this last week, I had 2 consultations, and they were impacted not by a reduction in force, of 1%, 2%, 10,000. No, they were singled out as an underperformer. And that's really, really unfortunate. What are their metrics? How are they being reviewed? And sometimes that can just be not true. They're just trying to lay off, a certain percentage and using this,
Correct.
and lying about it. Employers are, and it can hurt you in the future too. So, you might have to tell a future employer, why were you laid off? And that's a really hard conversation.
True. True. Yeah. Listeners, so why wait? If you have anything going on your mind on anything on your immigration related, or anything on your real estate related, the both experts are right now on the show, and you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92. Myself, Realtor Nagaraj Anaya, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal, the immigration expert. Where do you get 2 experts at one show? This is the show is for you guys. You should take an advantage of it. If you have any questions, do give us a call. So Ashima, now let's talk about the new last thing was about the gold card visa. Can you break down the details of the gold card visa and how it differs from the existing EB-5 investor visa?
Yeah, that's a great question because, President Trump this last week on Tuesday announced a 5 million gold card visa. And basically it's a pay to play.
Let me take a one call. We are getting one call. Let me take a call. Hello, welcome to the show. Your name, please. Yeah, we just lost it, Ashima. Yeah, please continue.
Sure. So, right now we don't have that much information, but President Trump said basically he wants to unveil a new visa program that would grant permanent U.S. residency and citizenship in exchange for a 5 million investment. Now, while that sounds, interesting and, attractive if you want to bring in very wealthy global citizens, what gave me personally a concern as an immigration attorney who represents those who are already going through the EB-5 visa program is that the gold card would replace the EB-5 investor program, which has been around since 1990. Congress enacted it. And a lot of Indians from around the world and in the United States utilize that program for a green card. How many? I mean, I think that I've read statistics that in 2023, it was approximately 1,400, 1,500. So that's not significant if you consider, perm-based green cards or EB-5. But India is the #2 country after China. China is more than about 5,500. These are approximate numbers, and India is #2. So, I have 3 Indian clients right now pursuing EB-5. 2 of them are doing the regional center, which is 800,000 in a rural area, high unemployment. And the other one is an Indian who is purchasing a hotel for more than it's actually a $3 million purchase.
Wow. Okay.
And so, my concern is if this is going to go into effect in 2 weeks, like President Trump said, what about these clients? What's going to happen to them? So, I'm not trying to get into politics here, but the president has made some very bold statements. And I don't really know if it's possible because you need an act of Congress to actually create a new visa program and remove an existing visa program. So, a reporter asked him about that and he said, no, I can do it. But, it's probably, somebody will probably sue him. It'll go to courts. It'll be paused. So, you know,
No,
it's
no, but
like,
Ashima, to add more on this, right? Like, do you think they're going to stop EB-5 will be impacted? Like, I don't think so, right? Like, EB-5 will be still going on.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so because, you know, if you're a tech worker and you're not qualified for EB-1A, but you know, you have enough stock. You've been working here for 15 years. You have more than 1 million in stock.
Correct.
Well, EB-5 for Indians does not have a backlog, zero backlog.
Wow.
You
Okay.
know, and so you can invest 800,000 and get a green card in about a conditional green card in about 12 to 18 months.
I think hold on to that. I think as listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaya, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal. We are discussing about what are your alternatives for your visa. Are you worried about that? Are you worried about the real estate? Do give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92. I'm more interested to Ashima, like to understand the $3 million investment on the hotel business, how they got into a green card for EB-5. How does that work, Ashima?
Sure. So, you know, this individual is putting about 1 million
Mhm.
of his own money. He's coming from a real estate background in Canada, where
Mhm.
he has been in the hotel industry, this client of mine.
Okay.
And then he's financed from the seller, you know, about 40%, and the rest is other investors.
Yeah.
Now, that's how he's financing the deal. It's in the beginning, you know, he's just making the purchase now.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to prove that his investment is in a high unemployment area, a rural area.
Uh-huh.
And on that basis, he's also going to have to show that he has created 10 new jobs,
Yeah. Yeah.
US workers, job creation. And so if we can document that, and I believe we can, based on the location of the hotel and based on his hiring plans and his business plan, you know, it is a name brand hotel. It's not just a, you know, a motel. It's a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
So that is something that, you know, if there's anyone in the US already interested in that, it's a good investment for him. It has you know, good plans. You could be a passive investor as well. So let's say you have an H-1B and you're working for Salesforce
Yeah.
or Nvidia or Microsoft, Google, any of those companies.
Yeah.
But you're on an H-1B. So obviously, unlike this individual, this client of mine,
Mhm.
you cannot run the business because you have an H-1B.
Sure.
You're a software, you know, you're a lead. But you can be a passive investor. So, and still get a green card through EB-5 Regional Center.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
So I
there's
think.
two options for EB-5. EB-5, where you own your own company.
Mhm.
But for many Indians, that's not an option because you cannot purchase you know, a business and run it without an appropriate work visa. So my client, he's a Canadian citizen but born in India. So
Mhm.
he's eligible for an E2 visa. So
Okay.
that is how he is doing it. But if you are in the US already, your option is the regional center.
Okay. Ashima, let me take a quick break and we'll revisit on these discussions. We'll don't go anywhere, listeners. We'll come back and we'll discuss more on this EB-5 investment visas.
To buy or sell a property and for all your real estate needs, contact Tech Realtor Nagaraj Annaya, your friendly real estate guide. Nagaraj Annaya, the one-stop shop for all real estate needs. Call 408-805-4653 or log on to nagarajhomes.com.
Yeah, don't take any tension. I'm here. I'm your host, Nagaraj Annaya, the realtor. I'm with Ashima Duggal. We are discussing everything on the real estate, how it can help you to get a green card faster. Ashima, that was a great discussion on, especially on the hotel business. I think let's talk about a couple of scenarios, Ashima, here. Let's say, like you said, H-1B can't directly buy in a business, but if you're on a H4 EAD, right?
Yes.
And you can do in a real estate investment, like in the hotel businesses, like maybe you can buy something in a Sacramento, Stockton, because Stockton you can get a hotel businesses for 2 million, 1.5 million, right?
Yeah, that's right. If you're, obviously if you're at an H4 EAD, it's unrestricted. So you are able to, your spouse or you are able to be a investor in that hotel and also, manage it and qualify. Now, because the regional center is passive, but if you are the H4 EAD, then you have to actually show that you're directing, the operations or enterprise, helping run it. But if there's a group and each one is investing, 1 million, then this could be your pathway to a green card.
Okay. I think let me start a few things around on that. Let's say he's on H4 EAD, okay, and he's going to start buy some 1.5 million, 1 million in a Stockton, and he's able to get it in he can create a 10 jobs from that. Being an active investor, that might be a great start for your green card for EB-5, right?
Yeah, it can, exactly. You have to, when you buy an existing business, Nagaraj, like a hotel, where it becomes a little tricky is you have to show that you are creating 10 new US jobs. So what does that mean? Like, are you expanding the business in some way, offering new service? And so that can be a little tricky because throughout the period in which you apply and get approval, it can take several years to get the permanent green card. You can get the conditional green card.
Wow. Okay.
In 12 to 18 months. You have to, in that entire period, maybe three to 4 years, you have to keep those 10 US workers.
Yeah.
So that is where it becomes a little tricky. I've had like I'll tell you another client, he's not Indian, but they purchased a gas station. And this is on the East Coast in South Carolina. And they then expanded the operations by offering a coffee, a coffee business, and they opened a fast food establishment, and they are also expanding the actual garage services, car repair. So that is how they're showing 10 new US workers, US jobs.
Yeah. And this job should be shown for how long, Ashima? Like this is for 2-3 years, or what's the duration of this?
Yeah, it's 3 to 4 years. I'm gonna say conservative. Yeah, so it is still a very secure and successful pathway to a green card. A lot of Indians are turning to it who do not qualify for EB-5. I'm sorry, for EB-1A, excuse me.
Yeah.
But you do need to do your due diligence. If you've never ran a business, you need to maybe partner with somebody who has. I mentioned earlier that 1,500 Indians in 2023, applied. So I would say about half were from abroad.
Okay.
So they are purchasing maybe a restaurant, and they're a passive investor from abroad, or they are engaging in the regional center program where it's allowed for them to be passive.
Okay, okay. I think, see, Ashima, I think that's a great thing. I think a lot of, because I have a couple of projects coming up in Sunnyvale, and if somebody who is interested to invest, right, I have one big restaurant coming up, and if somebody was interested to do an EB-5 active investment, I have an open for it. Listeners, like, let me know. It's a great way, as Ashima was saying, it's a great way to get you a green card, EB-5. Because Ashima, like as you said, restaurants things, what you told me right now. See, they can invest in 1 million and they can show a 10 million jobs, or not 10 jobs creating in next 3 years, right? It's a great way to get started. And one more thing is right now, impact on the real estate and housing market right now, because this EB-5 or even the gold visa, which we are talking about, it will be going and impacting a luxury real estate market, right? Because even the real estate market, because this many people who are coming into it, it will go and impact the real estate investments in around California, right?
Yes, absolutely. This new gold visa, if President Trump is successful in implementing it and replacing the EB-5 program, I think it would be a loss, because the EB-5 program is designed in a way that new businesses are created and American jobs are created. And it's a much lower threshold, 800,000 or, to 1 million versus 5 million. So, this target of 5 million is not something that a typical, Indian, engineer can afford. I mean, not, very few of us can afford that. So President Trump is really targeting the wealthiest in the world.
Yeah.
And I really hope the details include the investment must result in the hiring of, U.S. workers or creating new jobs. I think it needs to benefit, American economy in some way.
Yeah. Listeners, if you have any questions on the Bay Area real estate and immigration, we are live on Bali 92.3. Myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaya, and I'm talking to Ashima Duggal, and we are discussing about a lot of the EB-5 investment visas. How does that work on a gold visa? If you are interested to get to know how the EB-5 works, and if you are interested to invest in around Sunnyvale, I have a couple of projects coming up in Sunnyvale where you can invest and get your EB-5. And there are some, if you want to buy a business yourself and would like to understand how does that work, do reach out to me after the show also. But Ashima, like beyond the gold visa, what other investor friendly immigration pathways should high net worth individuals should consider? What do you think about that?
Investment pathways?
Yeah, investment pathways. One is
So,
the EB-5 and gold visa, right? Anything else do you have?
I mean, as far as like, a lot of accomplished engineers, scientists, professionals, if they're making a very high salary compared to others in their field nationally, they should also look into EB-1A, extraordinary ability. It's not an investment-based green card process, but it is based on your talent, your accomplishments in your field. And one of the criteria is a high salary or total compensation. So
Wow.
that includes stock, bonuses, everything.
Okay. But I heard like EB-1A right now, everybody is jumping in and it is like visas are delayed right now. What do you think about that? EB-1A?
Yeah, there is, I would say in my practice, I've been practicing more than 20 years. And in the last few years, EB-1A has become very popular. A lot of my clients are pursuing it. And, and of course the reason is that EB-2, EB-3 is very backlogged. And they aspire for EB-1A. Maybe they're not, maybe they're not eligible at this moment in time, but they spend 6 months, 1 year and build it.
Okay. Yeah. So, listeners, if I think Ashima, if somebody wants to do, we are running out of time today. If somebody wants to reach out to you after this show, how they can reach out to you, Ashima?
Sure. So if you want to learn how to build an EB-1A case, please contact me, Ashima Duggal. Go to my website. That is the best way. You can go to my calendar and schedule your own appointment. It's duggallaw.com, D-U-G-G-A-L law.com.
Okay, listeners, if you want to invest and get through an EB-5 and you would like to know what are the investment business visas, or if, for example, you would like to understand where I can invest to, as Ashima was mentioning on the EB-5 businesses, if you want to invest around Bay Area, and if you want to buy anything on your first house, and if you want to buy anything on the investment related, your one-stop solution, including your mortgage, that should be Nagaraj Annaiah. To reach out to me, it's easy. Go to nagarajhomes.com, click on a WhatsApp icon, and you can reach out anytime, anywhere. That's the easiest way to connect with me. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, listeners. Thank you. Thank you, Ashima.
Thank you.